Broadcasting live from the Forum of Amity on the plane of Arcavios. This is TapTapConcede. Hello, everybody. Ben Ulmer here sitting in the host chair. This is an interesting spot to be. Very excited for a kind of special episode of TapTapConcede. This is episode 2, I guess, of Am I the Sinkhole? And joining me on this episode are my jurors of justice. It's Graham Stark.
Hi, I'm over here. It's weird.
Yeah. we did a little switcheroo.
Yeah. I'm excited.
And a returning judge, actual factual judge, it's Nelson Sallow.
Lowercase judging you today.
Yeah. Judging positive.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited. People seem to enjoy this the last time we did it. And so we've got a whole bunch of new things situations to talk about here. If you didn't happen to catch the last episode, this is basically a show, I guess, where we were submitted a bunch of different kind of situations that people have been in through Magic the Gathering, whether in game or just kind of surrounding the hobby in general. And if you've ever listened to any of those, like, Am I the A-hole kind of story, that's what this is. We're going to be reading these Magic stories and then kind of discussing, like, are they, in fact, the sinkhole in this case? Did they do it bad? Is the person that they're with a sinkhole? That sort of a thing. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a whole bunch of things to talk about.
If someone wants to get themselves a paper physical copy of the card Sinkhole, where could they do that?
Well, they can head over to cardkingdom.com/LRR. They are the sponsor of basically everything Magic related that we do.
Yep.
We appreciate them very much. We've been using them for years. They've been using us for years. We're in a not commensalism, not what's the symbiotic.
Symbiotic.
I'm going back to biology.
Codependent? What?
Yeah. They're great. And so if you want to pick up any cards, you can head on over there, use the code LRR, and it gets you a little button. And the current button says, a big creature is its own reward, which, I feel like every green mage has been saying for many years. Yeah. Also, if you want to put those cards in nice little sleeveys, might we recommend Dragon Shield? If you head on over to Dragon Shield and use code LRRMTG5, you get a little discount. They also, get to know that we sent you over there. And you get to put your cards in, frankly, the best sleeves on the market, honestly. Mm-hmm. We used them far before we were even sponsored by them.
Yep. They're great sleeves.
Yeah, and speaking of sponsored, we're sponsored by you. Everything we do. It's you over at our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. You keep all the lights on and the people paid and, the ability for James, who is on tech.
Oh, you're making me scramble. Yeah, hi, it's me.
To go through and find a lot of these submissions from you on both our Discord and Blue Sky.
Nice.
So thank you. Yeah. Great. I think that's all of it. You're hosted. Am I going through it okay?
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right.
I'm excited.
You ready for your first story?
Yeah, I didn't get to do this last time, so I'm keen on seeing how we proceed.
I don't want it. Nothing needs to change, but I'm realizing just now for next time, I could maybe use a blanket.
Ooh, to get kind of cozy.
Ottoman, Yeah. This is like our podcast.
We should get little blankies and stuff like that. Lure blanket. Maybe in the
watch
future.
out.
I'll tell Beej.
Yeah. All right. So the first one that we've got today is from our Discord channel, which is free to join and is open to everybody. So consider joining that. You could probably find the link to it in the description down below. But this one was really interesting because this is sort of a situation that I've found myself in before as well. So I'm excited about this. Okay, so I don't remember the full details, but since this happened many years ago on Magic Online, so we're putting ourselves in a...
Okay, all right.
I was playing a game of Commander on Magic Online.
Oh, those are always death. Okay. Yeah.
So I was definitely behind and at a significantly lower life total than the other two players who were still in the game. 15 life, while the other players were still like mid-30s or so. One of the players casts Earthquake, which was large enough to kill me. And if you're curious about what Earthquake is, it's one of them big red X spells where you can dump a whole bunch of mana into it, and it's going to deal, I believe, that much damage to everything without flying.
And players.
And each player?
Yeah. And each player, yeah.
It's from Alpha Beta.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Earthquake,
Wow.
Fireball, and Disintegrate, and Hurricane.
All of them kind of
brain
in the same
geyser,
kind of
I guess.
there. Yeah.
There were a lot of X spells in the original version of Magic.
Ooh.
Like the idea of like the card getting scaling up as you got more extra mana you didn't know what to do with was a core concept.
I wasn't going to survive the damage anyways, but it was going to reduce the surviving players' life totals to like less than 5. One of the remaining players claimed, in response, I cast Reiterate on the Lethal Earthquake to copy it.
Oh, nice.
One of the players claimed that I was ruining the game by copying the Earthquake and bringing them both very low. I assumed I was just taking a game action and penalizing the player for killing me. Was I the sinkhole for casting Reiterate in this case?
So, okay, am I fully understanding this, that they were going to be dead regardless?
Yes.
Them reiterating it to copy it didn't end the game. It just killed one of the other players?
It just put it looks like it put like everyone else to like less than 5 life. So almost killing everybody.
No.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Categorically not the sinkhole here.
Yeah.
Unless you want to everyone sinkholes here because you're playing Commander on MTGO. So apologies. Well, not really. I don't know why.
Everyone sinks
the
here.
entire everyone
It's-
sinks here.
If you're playing Commander on Magic Online, everyone's already suffering enough.
Yeah.
And so
You're doing a service.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so I guess it's a little different than if you're playing Commander in person, because then it's like, no, I just want the game to end faster, and then we can all play again or do something else, rather than I'm just sitting here forever. On Make Go, you can just leave. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, like, I get why they were upset, I suppose, but no, categorically, no,
People
not
just-
the sinkhole here.
People in all walks of MTGO will salt off in the chat, but I imagine in Commander it's particularly egregious.
That's wild. Yeah, we talk about like online video game text chat. I can only imagine what text chat in a Commander game is like.
yeah.
Especially if you don't know the people.
I think I played Two-Headed Giant one time because I was just like so curious, and it was like, yeah, this is about as bad as you thought it might be. I don't get me wrong. I also love MTGO. I just think that it really only makes sense to play 1v1. Or like the best is if you get multiple people behind the screen, like LRRMTG streams. I think like MTGO is great for that. But I also want to defend like if you were in a paper game and there's 4 of you and you reiterate the earthquake that's going to kill you.
That's also fine.
No one should be salty at you for that.
No.
Like
Yeah.
you have a reiterate. That's a fine thing to do. It's kind of hilarious.
I think it's
I would have
very
assumed
funny.
that everyone just dies because
It would have been cool. I think it would have been better if everyone was dying.
and if
yeah.
everyone does die, it's like, why would you be mad at them for that? Like, you cast the earthquake, they're copying it. Like, now the game's over. Like, it's not anyone's fault, you know? Like, it's fine.
I feel like I can't remember if it was the green black Commander game or the Pauper Commander game we played sort of recently, but there was one where like I was about to get like knocked out very quickly, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to make a play here that is just going to cause the finale of this game to happen quicker on my way out the door.
Yeah.
That way I can play another game of Commander. And I don't know, is that like, do you think that that's a bit of like a faux pas to like, you're like, well, I don't get to play anymore, so I'm going to kind of try and have this game end quicker so that we can shuffle up and play again? Or should I let them fight it out in their own way?
The thing is, like, if you play Commander for a while, you'll get this sort of callous for this kind of thing, right? Where it's like, yeah, you sit down and you've got a deck and you want your deck to do your thing and you want to have fun and you want to win and you want to, like, get to see all the cool interactions between your cards. But everyone else wants that too, and we're having a fight.
Yeah.
You've got to understand that, like, when you say, and like, I'm guilty of still getting stressed sometimes, and like, you know, well, I'll even say stuff I regret occasionally because I'm like in the heat of the moment. But like, when you're away from the table, it's like, yeah, everyone's just trying to win and have fun, and so like, at least 3/4 of the time, your thing doesn't work.
Yeah,
and you just gotta lump it, you know.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing specifically as it relates to Commander that, like, if you this in any game of Magic, in 1v1, in Commander, anything where I try to cast a spell or I try to do something, and then the other player or another player does something that makes it not happen. It's like as simple as countering a spell or whatever, and like that's annoying because you were like, oh, but I had a plan. For some reason in Commander, it feels different. I'm not saying it should feel different,
Sure.
but it feels different when the person doing it is like death on the stack. Right?
Gotcha.
And I think that that's why people get annoyed at this, when it's like, but you're effectively out of here. Like you're like one spell resolution away from not going here anymore. So why are you doing this? And it's like, well, because this is how the game is played.
Yeah.
I'm doing it just to get that exact reaction out of you.
Yeah, exactly, right? I should be clear. I don't care about this, but I'm saying that's why I think people get annoyed in situations like that, where it's like, but you're dying. Why? Let us finish our game. And it's like, I'm not dead yet. I'm still in the game, and I'm taking a game action.
Respect the fact that I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, I think like
I'm allowed.
I think there's validity in because of the nature of how Commander is, and people get knocked out of the game. I feel like more people less so want to win, and more so don't want to have to sit there and watch everyone else play. And anything that will stop that from happening, I think, is more important to people in those instances.
I think the more Commander you play, the more you come to respect anything that can end a game of Commander.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time someone makes a decision and commits to a plan and does their action, I'm always just like, sweet. Like, I usually say that out loud. I'm like, awesome. Yeah, works. I take 10.
I think, like there's like that graph of like, it goes like up. It's like a roller coaster where it's like at the start, like, players who are like, oh man, like Craterhoof is so cool. I love Craterhoof. And then it's like up, like the saltiness meter, and like in the middle are like players who have played for like a little bit of time. They're like, Craterhoof sucks. Hate Craterhoof. And then it's like people who've been playing for decades are like, love Craterhoof. Love that it ends the game.
So good.
I feel like we've come full circle on that.
I have been trying to mentally put myself in the position of any other player at that table, like one of the two bystanders or the player that cast Earthquake, and I cannot imagine myself in any of those seats doing anything other than sick.
Yeah, I'd be like, yo,
Reiterate.
So like, you're fine.
Reiterate
played
even
with fire.
Reiterate has like buyback or something. Doesn't
It sure does.
So if you reiterate and then they're like, damn, okay, well at least I live, and they're like, with buyback, and you're like, no,
And then they reiterate again. Yeah.
That just kills everybody, and it's great. Yeah.
So it seems like categorically.
Wait. I got it.
Yeah.
It's like society will be better when people cast reiterates whose resolved original copies they won't be around to get hit by. It's all right. It wasn't perfect, but you know what I'm doing.
No.
You know
But
what
we
I'm doing.
got there.
Yeah.
That's never going to fit on a Card Kingdom button.
All right, so I think categorically here, you're in the clear. You are not the sinkhole
Easy,
in this
yeah.
situation.
But prepare for every game of Commander on MTGO to be exactly like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Next one. So this one's a little interesting. I was doing a little homework for this, and I actually went to the Am I the A-hole subreddit and found ones relating to MTG.
That's wild that exists.
Secrets of Strixhaven just came out. My man's prepared.
Yeah. It came out,
go.
and I'm about to cast my spell.
Let's go.
This one really caught my eye purely for the 1-2 punch of the title of it and then their username.
Okay.
So, all right. Am I the sinkhole for telling my friend's wife what his Magic the Gathering collection is worth?
Oh.
And the username is MTG _snitch.
Okay, so that's their throwaway account just for this post.
Okay.
Almost certainly a throwaway. But yeah, this is interesting.
Okay.
I feel like our SOs are all probably a little bit aware of what our collections are worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this-
Mine helped pay for some of it.
Sure.
Like my Mox Sapphire was a birthday present.
Yeah, I mean, my partner
my spouse.
scanned my whole collection and went, just eyes bulged out. and
How
go,
many bags
"Cool."
of cat
Yeah.
food is this one guy's?
Yeah.
We just have a unified collection. We're just
you go.
like
Sure.
we just keep it all together, and it's like, oh, you're building something, great. What do you need?
Yeah.
But is there more context?
Oh
than
yeah.
this?
So yeah, we
Okay.
got ourselves a story here.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So, my friend Jared and I used to play a lot of trading card games when we were younger. We mainly focused on Magic the Gathering. As we got older, we had less and less time for the game, so I sold off most of my collection, while Jared got into collecting the cards as a hobby/investment. We've all been there. One person who decided to keep all of their Pokemon cards and actually made it all the way through. He was pretty good at it, too. Having seen what his collection is up to recently, I would conservatively estimate that its value is around $50,000. For those who know MTG, he has several pieces of Power 9. Okay, well then that's That's not that much, I guess.
How old is this post?
I guess, yeah, really. Yeah.
Also, he's gets the friend guessing, so like.
Yeah, a
might be
binder
triple
full of alpha, beta, and revised dual lands.
Ooh.
Okay, this is more than 50
It's more than 50 grand already.
By a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
the post might not be from 2026.
Sure, yeah. I don't have the date on it.
Anyways.
And several binders of valuable cards from sets spanning the entire life of the game. He also has a few boxes of unopened booster packs from old sets and a few unopened booster packs and a few unopened booster boxes. Nice. Jared and I have spoken at length about his future plans with the money, and he hopes that selling off his collection will eventually pay for things down the road. This is why I was surprised to find out later that his wife Kim has no idea what those cards were worth. So Kim had stopped by to pick up some things for my wife, and we got to talking. Kim was talking about how she'd like to go on a little vacation once the pandemic was over. Okay, there we go. This is like 2020. But couldn't justify the expense. Thinking nothing of it, I joked about having Jared sell a piece of his retirement fund, referencing his collection. Kim laughed and said she couldn't see them getting much of vacation out of a few trading cards. Oh boy!
So you had the out to stop talking
you could
about
have
it.
stopped right there, man.
You could have stopped.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay.
I asked her what kind of vacation would she be having that would run her over 50 grand, and she got confused. Turns out Kim had always assumed the cards were worth some money, but nothing even close to their actual value, since she has no knowledge of the game. I told her his collection was probably worth more than a few $100s, and gave her my estimate based on what I'd seen before. Kim thanked me, grabbed her things, and left.
Oh boy.
I later got several angry messages from Jared the next day. Apparently, Kim had been furious with him for not telling her how much the cards were worth, and was now trying to get him to sell off some of the cards to put towards a vacation, as well as some of the things around the house that she had been wanting for a while, but holding off because she didn't think they could afford it. Jared told me I should have kept my mouth shut about the value of the cards, and that I started a whole mess of drama that didn't need to happen. He has since stopped responding to my messages. It's been almost a week, and from what I hear from my wife, things are pretty tense all over the house. So, am I the sinkhole? Oh, this one's real. Holy moly.
There's a lot to unpack here, obviously,
Yeah.
right? So
I think there may be more than one person who sucks here, but
yeah, for
continue.
sure. Yeah, several people sink here,
Yeah.
for sure. But I want to say, like, I've, especially in my youth, but during my adult life as well, I've been a person with pretty loose lips. Like, I have a hard time not just doing exactly what OP said. So
Making a joke about it.
I
yeah.
sympathize. Yeah, well, and just like information about people, especially like between friends, like it's his wife. So I want to give OP the credit of being like, well, I don't know anything about this person that his wife doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty
Surely
fair
you tell
guess to
everything
make.
to your partner.
Important stuff about your financial planning for your future. Like he calls it his retirement fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if the guy himself is joking about it.
You'd think that you have your retirement plans including and planning with your wife because you want to know what she wants from retirement.
I think it is a safe assumption
Yeah.
to assume
Yeah.
that this shouldn't be a surprise to the wife.
But then in the story, we
Yeah.
find out the wife doesn't know and gave him the out of joking about how it's only a few $100. So admittedly, it's a quick thing to process. But unfortunately, the world we live in is one where if you want to hold on to your friend's respect, you need to be able to turn on a dime and go from casually being like, haha, yeah, why don't you just take some of the 50 grand worth of Magic cards you have and go to Disneyland or whatever. Instead of saying that, you need to catch that she's like, I don't think that a few $100s worth of Magic cards is going to get us very far on our vacation. And you need to be like, haha, yeah, okay. Well, maybe you guys can hang out here. We'll have a dinner party. You need to be able to flip it quick. Life's like that.
Totally.
And in relationships, if you don't build that skill, you end up losing them, right? Like, I don't know if Jared and OP get to be friends anymore. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but there are hard pills in life.
More people need to adopt. Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. You need to have one in the back of your mind that's just like, oh, nope, no more conversation, no new things.
That's the train emergency stop lever. Somebody hit the dam. That's crazy.
And everyone just kind of looks at each other and doesn't say anything.
Oh my god.
So Unfortunately, I'm on Yes the Sinkhole.
Yeah, and the other when I was like, I think there's more than one person that sucks. Like, Jared's not coming out of here clean either.
No,
like,
of course
like,
not.
I appreciate that if you have sort of you've compartmentalized that, like, no, this sits over here until we're like buying a house or something. That it's not something that you bring up when there's like, oh, we really need this blender. I don't. That's too low. But you know what I'm saying? Like something around the house or whatever. Like I can understand that maybe, like, but the fact that it seemingly was never brought up, the level of how this valued asset that was in this relationship, that is to the point that it was this catastrophically surprising. I think, Jared's also sinking a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing that I noticed too about this is that it's like he's not playing with the cards from the sounds of it. It's a hobby of collecting and specifically said in here, investment, right? And so it's like if you're just if he's finding joy in the collection aspect of it, then sure, right? But it's like because I would never expect anybody to say like, well, I really want to Mexico, so you got to sell your hobby to like so that we can go on this trip, right? But when it's specifically from a collection monetary standpoint, then I don't know, maybe it gets a little bit more flexible.
When it's like these are explicitly set aside for money,
and you're like, we need money.
Let's cash a little bit of that out.
Yeah, we don't know Jared, but like I agree with what you said. It's also just like maybe it's not joy that he's getting from building the collection. Maybe it's like just a compulsion.
Could be.
Or maybe there's like a goal he's been headed towards and he doesn't want to touch, like, sell anything. He just wants to keep slowly buying more whenever he can and like trying to get good deals and slowly adding to the collection until he hits some number, and then he wants to get all the way out because he can't do what you described, where he's like sell for $10,000 to get a Mexico trip or whatever. He can't handle touching the like progress, because people are, Magic players are weird, shocker, right? But just people's minds, right? Like, so I don't know. And then if it's like he meant it for it to be a surprise as like a gift to his wife eventually, then that kind of gets him out. But
that didn't come up here.
But I mean,
there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Surprises are tough too. Like I'm all for surprising your SO, but when it's things like money or like we're getting married or something like that, I'm like 100% on team transparency about that kind of
just
thing.
talk about it.
I can't fathom that level of non-communication between Jared and his wife, but OP bust up here big time.
Yeah. You really kind of did your best butt dirty.
It was not OP's place to make that known.
Yeah, you had. I think Nelson hit the nail on the head. You had the moment to pull the ripcord, and you didn't notice it. So
damn, that's crazy.
I think we're saying everybody sucks, but you are definitely like the sinkhole. I think in this situation.
Well, wife doesn't suck. Wife was justifiably surprised.
Yes. Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Wife gets out a little scot-free.
Both the Magic players suck here. Shockingly. Yeah. Sorry, James. We talked over you.
Oh, I was just going to say, number one, don't invest in Magic cards. That's not a good investment.
True.
And number two, I guess I would be curious to know if what would change if the story was this guy entered into this relationship with, say, $50,000 of Apple stock, right?
Sure.
And didn't tell his wife. And then one day his friend accidentally dropped it that, oh, by the way, why not just use the stock you have in Apple? And you're like, wait, what? What stock I have in Apple?
I mean, to me, that's the same.
It's the same, right?
That, like, that should have been communicated, and also it wasn't this guy's position to go, oh, by the way, you have this, right?
Yeah.
So, especially if it is, you're considering the Magic like an investment.
Yeah. MTG snitch. Stop snitching.
Yeah. Also, I think the Apple stock would have amortized more greatly than the Power 9.
Yeah.
In that period of time.
Maybe. I do think it's worth clarifying, though. Like, if the wife is just over chatting with your wife or whatever, and then you just walk in and you're like, oh, you want to afford something? Why don't you get your husband to sell his Apple stocks? Like, that is a bit different than her saying, like, I doubt the $300 worth of Apple stock he's got is going to matter because that's what he paid for in 1996 or something, right? And then at that point, you still have it out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy.
All right. You are indeed the sinkhole in that situation.
All right.
Okay. Next story. We're over to our blue sky
Okay.
now. So this one's short and sweet because we got to fit it
Yeah.
in a blue sky post here. So a few years ago, I'm proxying out Canlander decks to get people interested in the format.
Not the single.
Well, my friend decides that he wants to play Storm. I say no. That's
Okay.
Am I the sinkhole?
I'm with you so far.
I say no. That's not a deck people like playing against. Any new player going against it isn't going to be excited about the format. He said I was wrong. So who is right? I may have claimed that he only wanted Storm to feel smarter than the new players when he beat them. He may have said I was too bad of a Magic player to understand combo, not to mention figure out how to play against it. All in a friendly way, though. Am I the sinkhole? Okay, it sounds like you're just not friends. Like, first off,
What level of friendly digging crosses the line for you,
Yeah.
right? It's like really good friends can jab each
damn,
other,
that's
right?
crazy.
Pull the ripcord.
Boy.
Well, I guess we know what we're calling this episode. So I do want to give you credit for proxying out Canlander.
Yes, yeah, shout out. Yeah, that's the best
please
way to
do
get into
that.
the format.
That's awesome. But yes, like new players come in many stripes. Some of them only want to play combo. Some of them are eager to play against combo and don't feel like they're even participating in the game until they get killed on turn 3.
Yep.
And they've had that game, and then they can be like, okay, now what could I do differently? Or what tools are available to me? Or like, do I just want to do that? You know, do I just want to race you at playing Storm? Like, I think trying to shield new players, if they're asking for it, especially, like, they're like, hey, can you proxy me out Storm? I want to play Storm. Like, don't, I think saying no there is sinkhole behavior, right? Like, I've been teaching my kids how to play, and like, yes, I am just giving them creatures and lands to start. And then I'm like, okay, intro pack decks or like, pre-con commander eventually. And
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I can't imagine as well, like, if you're getting someone into Canlander, they probably have played Magic for a little
Right.
bit before.
I would
like,
hope.
It's not an introductory format.
I know one person who learned on proxied Canlander decks.
That's
Like,
wild.
that's how they learned how to play.
It's a high power level.
Yeah, their boyfriend was like playing at YJ like every day of the week or whatever. Like it was pretty like deep, and she's really smart, and so like she figured it out. Like she learned how to play Magic. It was like a very good Canlander player for a long time. But it's still like that story. I'll never forget. I'm like, what do you mean that's how you learned how to play Magic? I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So
It's
it can
training under like a weight belt.
exactly. But yeah, no, 99.9% of the time, right? It's like, yeah, they've played a ton of Magic already, probably. So if they ask for Storm, just let them have Storm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we need to stop shielding people from, like, I feel like there's like a constant case of like, well, I don't want this new player to like play up against a mono blue deck or something because we want them to resolve their spells and stuff like that. But I think it's like important to show everybody like all the facets of Magic and let them decide, right? It's like with fighting games too. If you've got like somebody, it's like you don't want to be like, okay, well, I'm just nobody play a zoner because we want them to like get in and punch buttons. But it's like, no, a zoner is like important for them to realize as part of the game, and maybe they might like zoners too, right? Like
This is perhaps this is unfair. So don't take this personally, viewer, listener, submitter of this question. But I think perhaps evaluate, because I don't know. It could go either way. Did you not want them to play Storm because new players that you're trying to introduce to the format would feel what's the word? Overwhelmed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed by it, or do you just not like playing against Storm?
that could be very real,
Because
That's where I thought you were headed.
yeah, it sounds like sort of like, oh, I want to play Storm. No, because that sucks and I hate it. It comes. I've had these discussions with people
Because also,
with Magic players.
that's valid.
Yeah.
If you're like, no, I don't want to proxy Storm because I don't want to play against it or play with it. You're like, well,
It's like,
how
I
much
get
do you
it.
want your friend to start playing Canlander?
Yeah, like it's valid to feel that way, but it's I don't think, certainly if you're trying to if you're trying to encourage people to play, I don't think it works to just be let them find out.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if they play it and then they're like, man, everyone hates it when I play this deck. You could be like, yeah, man, that deck is no fun.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, right? Because it's just like because they they admit that they were just like, I may have claimed he only wanted to play Storm to feel smarter than the new players when he beat them.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into this little barb at the end here. This is like
pointed jab exchange.
Yeah, I don't know how funny haha this was in the moment.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know that.
It sounds like you two are just kind of being like a little crappy to one another at the end there.
Right.
So maybe there's some. Maybe you're on a similar sinking level at that point, but certainly they're not in trouble for wanting to play Storm.
I think especially since the concept seems to be that they're just proxying out a bunch of Canlander decks, it's like make one for
Have
each
a Storm
archetype.
Deck. Yeah.
Well, yeah, or just each one. I think if you're find yourself in this position where you genuinely want your friends to start playing Canadian Highlander, and like any of them ask for a specific archetype, please proxy them that archetype immediately.
Yeah.
So they get to try out the deck that they're interested in the format. Like that's going to give us the best possible chance at a conversion to a new Canadian Highlander player that wants to play more. So for my sake,
We have like the big circle too, right? Because it's just like someone will be like, I mean, this is how I operate in new things, where I'm just like, okay, this thing beat me. What beats that thing? And then you play that thing, you're like, hell yeah. But then what beats that thing that you and you get to have like the circle where it's just like, people say that like, combo loses to control and like control can lose to aggro or whatever, and you get to like people get to see like the various steps in it, and I think that's really important.
Yeah.
this also really ties into like a thing that's been going on in Magic, especially in the Commander world, actually, which is, I know, not what we're talking about, but like the idea of understanding and sharing what the frustrations are and the moments of joy in Magic, like the things we have in common about what we like about the game, but that can it can slip into thinking that there's a solid objective truth to that, which obviously there isn't, and that like even new players have an objectively similar experience with what they enjoy from the games, which they don't, right? So like you can make a mistake when you're getting decks ready for new players that you think what their expected outcome is and what their feelings are and what is going to go the best for them, whereas all you can really do is try to make the easiest setup for them to potentially enjoy the game, and then they either will or won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think showing all the cool facets is big important. So, what do we think? Like, kind of sinkhole?
I don't know. You're up to your knees at least.
Yeah. You're a creeping tar pit.
I mean, yeah. I don't want to call them the sinkhole because they're proxying Canadian Highlander.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that is still better than your faults. Yeah.
You're sinking, but then you're like proxying Canadian Highlander, so that's the rope that you're pulling to
Yeah.
get you out.
Exactly.
All right.
Next.
Okay. We got another long one from the Reddit.
Okay.
Great.
And this one's got just an absolute banger of a title. Am I the sinkhole for getting upset at casual MTG?
Wow. That's a great start.
What do you think?
Can't wait to hear the context for this.
Well, that's great because the first line is, so here's some context.
Yes.
I play Magic the Gathering Commander with my friends on campus. And today, 3 of us were playing in the library. I'll call my friends Sam and Evan. One of the decks I run is a Rev Tithe Extractor deck, which allows me to, when I deal damage, create a treasure token and exile the top card of their library face down. Now, I've played this deck before and had issues with one of my friends looking at the cards that get exiled from their library, and I had brought up the issue before, but had pushed it away, and I didn't care about that much. Wouldn't they be able to?
It says face down.
It does say face down?
And so
Oh,
usually,
okay.
yeah, even though like
James, can we see Rev
Yeah, do you mind-
Tithe Extractor?
is this first Strixhaven? Which
This
card?
is Jumpstart.
Jumpstart.
This is like a black.
No wonder I've never heard of it.
Sounds like a black-white
Yeah,
card. Oh, it's
yeah.
just. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
this
the lady.
Yeah, this thief is actually. Is this one of the really expensive ones from that Jumpstart? It's only
Yeah.
one printing. Yeah, no, this cool
Exile
Hill
it
Giant.
face down. Yeah. Okay.
So even though you own your own library and it's not a shared zone, the instruction on the card is for the controller of Rev to touch the library. And you're supposed to just let your opponents do that when you're playing Magic. I know we don't want each other bending each other's cards. We don't want each other damaging each other's property. Frankly, if you're worried about that, stop playing, pick up your cards, put them in their box and leave.
Yeah.
Like, no, that should be the respect of each other's property should be a precursor to getting to play the game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, your friend shouldn't be touching their cards.
Yeah.
It's just you that's supposed to do it.
Well, there's more.
Okay.
So, but it's also that they're looking at them before.
Yes,
you
that and like
course.
committing a rule
It's,
of
it's
infraction.
supposed to
really.
be hidden
Yeah, for
information.
sure.
That's
It's supposed to
part
be
of the
face
point.
down.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah. Well, today we were playing casually like usual. I decided to play Rev. When I dealt damage to they say my Sam.
My son.
Oh, my Sam.
Mr. Frodo.
Yeah, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah.
He gave me the top card of his library and angled it slightly towards himself. So I accused him of looking. But he said he didn't. So I got a little upset, but I put it aside. When I dealt damage to Evan, though, he just looked at the top card of his library, held it up to his face to read it before giving it to me. I got really upset at this and told him that his action was cheating and that he should exile a different card because of it. Sam and Evan proceeded to tell me that it's not fun to not know what card is being exiled.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real, though. And Sam said that since it is casual, Commander, it doesn't matter, and that I'm wrong for caring. Now, I don't really care if we want to change the rules of the card and exile the top card in my friend's library face up, but the fact that they won't even try to communicate and compromise with me on the issue rubs me the wrong way. We started arguing, and together we got rowdy and loud enough that the librarian came over and asked us to keep
baby,
it down.
I just remember they're in the
Yeah, they're
library
still-
while this is happening. They're having a fight about magic rules.
Sam! It's got me face down.
Evan, if you're going to do that, I'm just going to draw 3 more cards and put 3 more lands into play.
Evan, you put that card down.
Oh, no, I bumped your life total. So tired of you dickheads. Oh, shit, we're in the library.
Boys.
Sorry. During our argument, and after the librarian came over, I told them that I know they don't want the uncertainty of the exile, but since it is a card rule, and since we are playing casually, all they have to do is ask me if we could bend the rules, and I'd be more than happy to do it for them. I was told to drop it since the librarian came over to talk to us. Since neither of them would listen to me or try to work together, I decided to pack up and leave. Am I the asshole for wanting to play the rules of the card that my friends won't respect? And by a-hole, I mean sinkhole.
So, I don't think this should be a particularly hot take, but when you're playing casual, friendly games, the rules still matter, and they help to keep it casual and friendly. Mm-hmm. Casual and friendly Magic doesn't mean you make stuff up, because then it's subjective depending on... Then there's room for argument. If you just stick with the rules that exist, then everyone has a much more friendly time because everyone understands what's happening. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that casual fun game with friends should ever mean, yeah, we just make stuff up.
We're just doing Calvin Ball out here.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is, I think, antithetical to actually having casual fun. I think rules are, and this is not just for Magic. This is like if you're playing like pickup baseball or something, and it's like, oh, well, you didn't do that, like you that was a foul, or like whatever, and like, oh, whatever, it's just like it's a beer league game. It's like, well, no, because then what happens when someone else does it and it's an inch further, and suddenly now you don't think that it is. To keep it a friendly, fun beer league baseball game, we should all be following the rules so we all have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm 100% in agreement with you. Like,
Yeah.
because if you don't have to, if you all know the rules and you don't have to think about it, then you just it becomes instantly more casual.
Yeah.
I actually think that the word casual is a plague upon gaming.
So true. I mean, both in a derogatory sense, and when someone calls you a casual,
Sure.
too. Like,
Yeah, there's that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
ways you can take that, but I mean it in the most scientific. Just that, like, this word has a bunch of meanings already in English that are valid, and we use. And I'm not trying to attack any of the other ones. Fashion industry can keep it, and all the other ways that we use that word. But in gaming, I think specifically because it has so many meanings already in English, I don't know if there's room in the human brain for a shared, agreed upon definition of casual game or casual match or casual deck building or whatever it means. Just like, so like, were you relaxed? Like, did you have a couple drinks and then you built your deck? Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want to play, we can't attack each other for the first 3 turns? Do you want to play with an agreed upon ban list that's like 1,000 cards and includes every card that says counter target spell or destroy target creature? You know, like, do you want to play with no blue? Like, what does casual mean to you? And it's subjective. And then so people end up getting into opposite scenarios where they're like, well, I don't want to do X because to do that wouldn't be casual for me. Like, this reminds me, this exact scenario with the not wanting to like put a card face down reminds me of one player I played against at Yellow Jacket who just like, I cast, it wasn't even duress, it was just Gitaxian Probe on them. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it just tells, I just get to see which cards are in your hand. And then I draw a card and I paid 2 life to cast it. It's like, well, that's not okay. And they were like pretty new.
Sure, yeah.
They were pretty
They're
new.
like, I
They
don't want
played a
you to
few
know
games to
this.
understand, but this is the first time they had seen like a peak kind of card before, and they were like, well, then I just don't want to play. It's like,
That's wild.
okay.
Yeah.
You know? And that wasn't a casual setting, but it has some similarities, right? So the thing is, like, everybody's kind of different, and they're different about the word casual. And so I just think we should stop. And so if you want to play Commander, except creatures don't deal damage to players, or you want to play Commander, but like no one can target anyone's anything or make them sacrifice or destroy or exile or bounce any of their stuff, just say that, you know?
If look, this stories like this that are written from the perspective of the poster, we never know exactly like
How truthful are they being?
yeah, exactly what went down. So like we don't know what was said that when tensions rose and the librarian had to intervene.
Oh my Sam, we need your version too.
But to the factual part of it, of like getting annoyed because your friends don't want to do what the card says. No, you're completely innocent as far as I'm concerned, because it's like, yeah, it feels bad to have to not know what card of yours your opponent took. Feels bad when you Doomblade my creature. Like, this is just sometimes, as the opponent, things happen to you that feel bad.
That's literally games.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be annoyed if every time I killed Doombladed one of my opponent's creatures, they went, "Yay!" I'm like, that's not the reaction I want.
I gotta mentally store that one for a Commander night.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, people hate Mill, right?
Yeah.
And like, and Mill's one of those things that I'm like, I don't get why people are mad, but like, it's one of those ones that people dislike because they're like very precious with their cards,
Yes.
right?
That
And
would
so-
feel bad. So what if I just leave the cards in my library?
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, it's like, look, the card, if you don't want to play against this commander, then have a talk and be like, hey, we actually hate playing against this commander because we don't like it.
That's
fine.
valid.
But
That's valid.
don't just be like, no, we decided to ignore what the card says because we've determined one definition of what casual means in the game context of this game. Yeah.
Because like Graham's just said, we sympathize. It does feel bad when you don't know which card was exiled from your deck. So like,
how it's supposed to
if you're-
work.
You're planning to tutor, or like you want to know what your options are when you could draw or whatever. It's gone. But the thing is, that rogue is supposed to keep that information secret from you, and that's part of the fun of the point of playing Zev, is that your opponents don't know which thing you're going to get them with from their own library, and if they do know, then it's like you neutered it. Like the thing is, Sam and Evan have robbed themselves of even the experience of getting to play against this commander.
I love like effects like I think like the Gonti from OTJ is very similar, or Gonti in general.
All the
is always
Gontis,
like,
but yeah, the OTJ one for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pretty big Gonti enjoyer. Nelson, of course, famously.
yeah,
Large Gonti enjoyer.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been pretty reserved, but I do appreciate people building Zev and like coming with the point of like trying to, and it honestly does look like what I would call a casual commander, because I think of like the Gonti deck as being pretty casual, and that was like, and actually Gonti, I know I've just said that don't say casual in your game, but for me to relax, play commander with friends and not be invested in the minutia of what's happening every turn or care if I win, getting to play mono black Gonti as my commander was like a huge level up for me, where I'm just like, I get the experience of enjoying finding out what my opponents brought and playing with their cards.
yeah.
But like Zev wants you to do that in a surprising way. So let your friend do that, kids. Yeah. I'm going to go with not the sinkhole.
Yeah, I think like as you were saying, or just be like, we don't like that. We don't like that character. Could you make a different deck?
Sure.
We just don't like. I don't like losing the cards in my hand, and that's sucks. But like, I think that's much easier than being.
It's a better way of dealing with it.
Yeah. Then we're just going to break the rules.
Yes.
Exactly. All right.
All right. So yeah, I think not the sinkhole. No, I don't.
Unless you
think
want to get called out for just playing Commander in the library.
Yeah, that's don't. I feel like the library is not a great place
Game
to
room?
play multiplayer Commander.
Yeah, like
Or,
I wouldn't.
multiplayer like Magic.
I wouldn't bring a foosball table, and
Yeah.
like I've had plenty of Commander games that are louder than that.
Anything that I'm really just like having a. I feel like the library's not a place to go where you're having conversation
Right.
in any form.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, up next. This one comes from Blue Sky, and it was like a multi-thread one.
Ooh.
We've got a lot of cards here in this, so we'll go through them. Okay, so this is written in a very interesting way. You know, it's funny how this tends to happen less in my Magic career as I go on. I don't know if it's just me being foolish and self-assured or me achieving my goal of being mindful of others at the table, but I'll give you one in a thread. Commander Pod is Avatar Aang, so that's like the new 5-color one. Urza, Lord High Artificer, so mono blue guy.
Yeah.
Rick Grimes, so like the
White humans?
the white humans probably.
I do not know what Rick Grimes
White
does at
humans,
all.
Lord.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it,
he has like
got
a bunch of things, kind of very similar to Audric in certain ways too, with like keywords, I think. And myself playing Amy Rose, so you know all the Magic classics.
Time Lord. I don't know Amy Rose. Is that from the Doctor Who?
Amy Rose is the
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
like
Sonic the
pink
Hedgehog.
with the big hammer.
Oh, okay.
I think
There's
that was a secret layer.
Doctor Who has a character named Amy and a character named Rose. Neither of whom are a hedgehog.
Right.
Yeah, Amy Rose is a 3/3 with haste. Whenever she attacks, attach up to one target equipment to her, then up to one other target attacking creature gets +X/+0, where X is Amy Rose's power. So
Okay.
strap a
Equipment.
big hammer to her, and
That sounds great.
off you go.
Okay.
Obviously, higher bracket. The Urza deck is doing the Urza thing. The Avatar deck is stalling a bit, and I'm playing close to my chest, not overextending. So, yeah, they were playing Amy Rose,
Right.
the writer. It's about turn 5 or 6. The Rick player decides to Enlighten Tutor and grabs a Thrumming Stone. Classic 5-mana artifact that gives your spells Ripple 4.
Thrumming.
Thrumming Stone.
So yeah, that's not a thing that you get unless you're about to do
Yeah.
something.
They then play it, picks up his deck, and just searches for all the Knights Templar, as opposed to rippling.
Oh. So doesn't understand how their deck works?
Well, they say, I designed the deck so that it'll never whiff with ripple.
Okay, but they have to cast the
You
spell.
have to, yeah, I imagine they probably missed it. Like, they probably cast the spell and then just went and grabbed all the cards. But
Okay.
I rolled my eyes. After getting all of his Templars, he had already kind of been single dropping some, so he swings at my open board and searches for Chronicle of Victory. So the card that they have is Knights Templar. This is the white. You can have as many of these as you want from Assassin's Creed.
I'm unfamiliar with this card
Neat.
too.
Okay, yeah, me
God.
too. I didn't know.
Man.
There's another one I knew about from. Isn't there one from Capenna that's like a party person?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No, there is too. Yeah, you're right. But I was
Thrawn
gonna
or
say,
something?
if your play group no longer buys the excuse, when you invent new Magic cards and print out proxies and try to trick your friends into believing they're real cards, and they no longer believe that they're from the new Capenna Commander decks. You can now say
Assassin's Creed is also a good one too.
That should buy you several more months. Before.
But yeah, I can't remember what the card. Do you have
This is a
card,
callback.
James?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
Sorry.
We were joking about
Which one?
this during Camp
Sorry,
Cardboard.
which one are you looking for?
Knights Templar.
I believe Templar Knight.
Templar Knights, sure.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
there we go. Yeah.
Sure.
So 3/1 with Vigilance, and then for a white, you can tap 5 untapped attacking creatures you control and search your library for a legendary artifact.
Named Knights Templar.
Named
named-
or
Templar
Templar Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Search for a legendary artifact, put it in the battlefield, shuffle. A deck can have any number of cards named Templar.
But did they
Knight.
cast the first Templar Knight?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
think they
okay.
might
Maybe
have
that's
just
part of the
missed
story.
that,
It's not. Okay, so whatever. They ripple off. They get 30 Knight Templars into
And
play,
they grab
then
Chronicle
go
of
get
Victory.
Chronicle of Victory. Make them all huge, right?
Make them all huge, yeah. His attack is now going to chunk me for over half my life total. I cycle a Dismantling Wave.
Oh, is that
So dismantling wave is it's basically a big like destroy all artifacts, like costs like a bajillion mana, but you can cycle it to Yeah, you can cycle it to destroy all artifacts. It costs way more to cycle. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's one of these.
Yeah, it's 2 and a white sorcery for each opponent. Destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Cycle for 6 white. Discard and draw a card. And when you cycle it, you destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So this gets rid of the Thrumming Stone.
Yeah,
but it
and
gets
the
rid
Chronicle
of
of Victory.
Chronicle of Victory.
Okay.
Which is when just remind me, Chronicle of Victory is.
It's a 6 mana artifact.
Is this the new one?
It's the new one. Yeah.
Oh, so this is recent. Then.
Yeah.
It's from Lorwyn, isn't it?
Yeah, so when it enters, you choose a creature type. Creatures you control get +2/+2, first strike, and trample. And whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, you get to draw a card. Okay. So they're just this is further increased Vanquisher's banner or whatever.
Yeah. It doesn't grant them haste, so I have game state questions, but they're not relevant to the story. So continue.
I cycled Dismantling Wave, which I held on to for the Urza player, but he still hits me pretty hard, and it rolls around to my turn, to which I cast Sunfall. Sunfall, big
Kills
exile. Yeah, it exiles everything, and you make a gigantic incubation token based on how many creatures there are. Exile all creatures, incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. He scoops angrily and exclaims, "Why the hell are you board wiping if you're not going to win immediately?" and storms off in a huff.
Okay.
I do incrementally beat down the Urza deck and the Avatar nonsense. I don't think I'm the Sinkhole, but I had a gigantic incubator, and I started suiting up a Heartfire hero that I won with. But I don't know. I do get people get upset about things like Farewell, and I kind of did that, but it was 2 different cards. Am I the Sinkhole? So it seems like TLDR, opponent rippled out, made a bunch of things, you board wiped, and they were mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, that's how wraths work. Look, I'll give you a little secret sneaky peek behind the production curtain in terms of recording games of Commander for content. Is basically everybody has like an unwritten rule that, like, if we've been recording for like over an hour and a half, 2 hours, don't wrath unless you are going to win the game. But that's for a video.
Yeah.
In a game, you can wrath and not win immediately. But also, in this case, it sounds like this wrath was so you don't die.
Yeah.
Which is also fine.
I mean, a big part of this one, too, is they said it earlier. Like, we might forget because it said it quite early on in the thing. It was turn 5.
Yeah, what?
You're allowed to board wipe on turn 5, brother. I think they were, I guess, more pissed because they had dumped their entire deck onto the board.
Sure, yeah.
Now they had no way to win.
The
really.
Rick player did their thing, right?
Yeah.
And
Also,
the
you
way
had
their
8
deck.
mana to cycle on turn 5? Wild.
Well, they play Soul Ring in this format
Yeah.
and stuff.
It was higher power, so they probably had, if they're
Yeah.
Amy and it's Boros, they probably had like Smothering Tithe or something.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You're probably looking for some not the sinkholes here, and I'll jump in with one. It's like, this wrath in particular makes a creature. So even the sentiment of like, don't do that. Like, even on content, this would be okay. I think if there's like 18 creatures and you Sunfall, it's like, okay. Like, it's only going to take 1 turn cycle before you can attack with that thing. That is right away, in my mind. I'm like, the player, like OP, is winning the game immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in a deck, like, if they're playing Amy Rose, they've probably got some form of equipment, maybe that gives trample or something, right? And this is like I imagine at least like a 30-30 or something, right? So this seems like the least egregious that I can think.
Maybe it barely killed anything if they were like, in response, I concede, which again is okay. Like our Reiterate player earlier, you're allowed to do that if you want to be like, okay, well, I'll concede before it resolves so you don't get an incubator off of all my Templar Knights. That is allowed.
That's true.
And like, honestly, is closer to being sinkhole behavior as well.
Yeah.
But it's the rules, and like, you're steamed, so if it's going to make you feel better, like, pick your cards up and leave, that's fine.
I think people really hated this card in Standard, but when I look at it, I'm like, I should be playing Sunfall in Commander.
Sure. No, it's an elegant card. It does let you kill all the creatures and win the game. Like, they hated it because it's so good. Like, this card's great. You know, it's just very powerful. For 1 more mana, you both get to exile the creatures and make a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Not the sinkhole.
Not the Sinkhole. I think this one feels pretty cut and dry. Like, the amount, though, of stories that are like this that are commander centric are always so funny to me, though. It's just like it's such an unsolved format in the etiquecies of gameplay.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like your friend is upset because you wrathed, and wraths are allowed.
Yeah. It's interesting and challenging to brew decks for, and like that is like a big thing that the format has going for it. The deck building in Commander is awesome, and then playing the games is like this like high level etiquette puzzle that like kings and queens would be like, okay, my son, first you must get through an entire weekend of CDH play without tilting, then you shall be ready for the throne. But father, it's my 10th year in a row. I can't go back to that convention center.
Yeah.
I mean it, I've been banned.
I mean, I'm so with you, though. I like the building and less the playing, which is why most of my decks don't survive more than a show.
Right.
But
yeah, I have good times playing sometimes too, but it's just tough. Like, the game was invented to be 1v1, so part of it is just the waiting. And like when we're making content, we're usually pretty great at that. Like I think the games I play in this room, like least amount of waiting in all of Magic that I do, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's still just like, and then you got to be hyped for your turn, and then you got to like consider everyone, and like you have to figure out what to do with your power, and how to either like king make or go for the win or just wait, like all these things. It's so difficult to actually navigate a game of Commander that's fun for everybody.
has it ever in the history of ever, when you're like hearing Commander stories, like have you cared? Like I don't think I've ever had someone like tell me a story about how they won and cared about the result as much as the how they got there. Which is like something that we should like. I think that's what you should try and be focusing more on in Commander. Is like, I don't care that you won your casual game of Commander. I do care that you like cycled dismantling wave and took out this person that put their whole deck onto the field.
Right.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
right?
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
so make experiences. Who cares about winning? All right. I got an interesting one here.
All right.
We got one last one. I don't know how long normally things
I'm
are.
good.
We can do another.
Cool. We'll do one last one here. It's from Facebook. I went and found an MTG Facebook group.
You worked so hard for this show.
Yeah, and they this one posted, and you can tell it's a little bit from a while ago because the starting sentence is, "I joined a spell table lobby and it said 7 to 8 no infinites."
What does 7 to 8 mean?
So like a deck set, like my power level's a 7 or an 8, like old before brackets.
Oh, before the
system.
brackets. Okay,
Yeah.
out of 10.
But also just like I joined a spell table lobby puts it solidly within the last 5 years.
Yeah, could have been like a would have been like a pandemic kind of thing. Yeah. So on turn 5, I cast Smothering Tithe, and by the time it was turn 7, I had 7 treasures. At the end of my opponent's end step, I go and I tutor with Enlightened Tutor and reveal a knowledge pool.
Okay.
What does knowledge pool do again?
6 mana artifact. Players, when you cast a spell from your hand, exile it and cast one of the spells exiled with knowledge pool. When knowledge pool into the battlefield, everybody exiles 3 cards that are from the top of their library that are linked to knowledge pool.
Yeah, so basically it's like the 3 cards that are in there, and then you just you're only basically allowed to cast the spells in the knowledge pool.
But but like mana value doesn't matter, so you want to just have cheap cards in your hand and then exile expensive cards with the knowledge pool. Or there's like combos.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even I even left it on the mat for a good minute to let people read it because it's knowledge pool.
Yeah.
Then at the start of my turn, I tutor again, and I proceed to play the tutored Draneth Magistrate, asking if anyone has a response. So Draneth Magistrate, everybody loves this card in Magic the Gathering and Commander. It's a white creature that says that you can only cast spells from your hand.
Right. So this essentially locks everyone out of casting spells ever again.
Including you.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have run knowledge pool in that red Scrambleverse deck.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it would work
That's
perfect
just
for
a-
it.
Oh, it's
Big
your
ol' mess.
opponent's
Yeah,
actually.
your opponent. So you get to still.
So
Right,
Granite
so this-
Magistrate says your opponents have to stop playing,
Right.
but you get to. Okay.
So if you manage to knowledge pool and then get this thing into the knowledge pool with another spell and then cast another spell so you can get this thing back out of the knowledge pool, your opponents are locked out of casting spells.
Yeah, so
quite a lot of setup.
Yeah, I cast Draenest Magistrate, asking if they had a response. When there was none after a minute of waiting, I played the Knowledge Pool, asking again if there's a response, and again after there wasn't one. I then said, you guys are welcome to concede if you want, or we can keep playing. Everyone was super confused. After I explained the lock-on combo, as we just did, basically you can't cast any spells from it, they all get super mad, and one says, that sounds like an infinite in my book. The spell table lobby owner then just deletes the whole lobby in the middle of our conversations. Thoughts?
Okay. I mean, honestly,
yeah,
this combo
kind of rips.
Well, like you could put it in a 5.
Yeah,
like if this combo being in your deck does not make your deck a 7 on its own.
Yeah,
like it's a 6 mana artifact and a 2 mana creature with 3 toughness, right? And like, sure, Knowledge Pool is weird, but Draeneth Magistrate isn't. Everyone like knows about Draeneth Magistrate. And, like, this is an extra layer of being annoying you can do with it. But, like, also, it's not really that annoying a combo. It's a hard lock, right? So, like, some combos force you into the position where you're like, okay, well, they've got the thing, but they're not killing me this turn, so I'll draw. Like, you know, it prolongs the game a bunch.
There's a Nadu aspect.
Yeah, exactly. There's, like, a waiting or whatever. But, like, Draeneth Magistrate's pretty clean. Like, unless you already have like lethal attacks from your creature lands, just concede. Yeah, like you don't get to do anything anymore.
There's the chance that people don't like know, right? Like, and that's fine. Like, I remember, I never in the history of ever did I expect Nelly to cast Yokel Hops in a Commander game over the Pandini.
Hell yeah.
And then I responded by tutoring for Boros Charm and like giving myself indestructible. And you were like, so game 2, and I was like, no, let's play it out. And then I was like, okay, wait. And you're like, I draw and pass. I was like, oh, you don't. Oh, it destroys everything.
Oh yeah, you didn't know I was blowing up my own stuff.
Yokel Hops just breaks everything.
Yeah.
So
I was just trying to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Or did I have an enchantment in play or something? Usually I try to have a planeswalker, but I probably just cast that Yokel Hops to feel something.
Yeah.
So like,
this could be that case.
Hypothetically, what was that card that we just saw that you could cycle?
Oh, no. Not Decree of Annihilation.
The one that
I
kills
remember
all
what
the
you're talking about.
artifacts and
Annihilating
enchantments.
Glare? Or something?
Something like that.
Yes, that's not casting a spell. So yeah, you could do that. That
you
would
could
take
draw
up the
into
knowledge
that,
pool.
and that would take up the knowledge pool. You know, so like there's
if
ways
your
out
deck
of it.
has that. Dismantling wave. Sorry. Yeah.
So I think it's clear that like despite how you were like, look at the knowledge pool, read it. Look at the Draeneth Magistrate, read it. That the player did not go. So to be clear, when I get these both in play, you will not be able to cast spells. And the other players did not come to that conclusion on their own until everything was resolved. I don't think it's your responsibility to do that necessarily. Certainly in this kind of situation. Webcam magic sucks, though. I'll tell you that.
Yes, big time. I think you have to do that in those instances.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think the author of this post is largely innocent of sinkhole behavior. That is a hell of a combo.
It's pretty safe. Do you think that qualifies as like does a hard lock like that qualify as an infinite?
No, those are different things.
They are different things. We're talking a lot about the etymology of words and words have meanings here.
That's infinite in my book. Like, no, it's not. It's a different thing that you can also hate. Yeah. But it's not an infinite combo.
It does very finite things.
Yeah,
right?
It actually does very little.
It provides no infinite resource to anyone.
Yeah.
Or any resource really at all. Yeah, exactly what you guys said. You know, if you want to post no combos 7-8, like good luck trying to find any deck in Commander
That's
that
the
is
other thing.
that is honestly you said 7/8 and then you were like no infinites.
Well, so wasn't 7-8 like that was like what everybody said, like it's not crazy, but it's like it's got a little juice to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the joke. I mean,
it was kind of like saying casual.
We made this joke ourselves. Was like, like my deck's about a 7, but like to me, 7-8 means like you can be prepared for there to be some gross shenanigans there,
right? Like a 10 was supposed to be CDH, where you're just like everything is in. This deck wins as hard as it can with as much like counter backup or whatever. It's probably 5 colors, like all the things that we can do to possibly win a game of Magic in Commander. Mm-hmm. And then a 9 is like not quite that. And then the 8 is like, well, there's going to be a lot of the cards that are in that 10, right? And then the 7 is like, okay, we're trying to have some fun. We're making some weird choices, but it's still pretty strong. Yeah. So I think like the hard locks totally still belong in a 7.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
I will say, as I mentioned, I don't like playing Commander on spell table just because
Sure.
it's hard to read all the cards,
And when you cast
and there's a lot to
Scramblers.
track.
James has to drive
Can't play
around.
all the good
Exactly.
Magic cards.
Yeah.
I don't think that this makes the poster the sinkhole here, but without necessarily drilling down on it, if it were me, I would definitely be like, rather than resolving it and going, y'all can concede if you want.
Yeah.
I would go, to be clear, if this resolves, you won't be able to cast spells anymore. Like, I would say that because it's like, I would do that at a table that wasn't webcam. I'd be like, you all seem like you're not taking this seriously, and I want to be clear I'm about to win the game here, you know? And then if it's like, yeah, we can't stop this, I'm like, okay, cool. We're done, right? Like, that's fine. But that's a personal thing. But
Well, and
I don't think that the OP was necessarily a jerk here.
Yeah, I mean, they say too that it's like this was only like turn 8 or whatever, right? And so it's like for me too, especially when it comes to like infinites and stuff. If they do it, I would prefer they do it super early, and we go, great, you did it. Game 2,
Right.
you know, shuffle up and play again.
Is there an opportunity? Can you bring Knowledge Pool back up, James? Is there an opportunity to shatter it?
Yep.
No,
Maybe
because
not.
as soon as it's in play, doesn't your spell just disappear?
So, as soon as it's in play,
Yeah.
whenever you cast a spell from that, you exile it. If the player does, they can cast another non-land card exiled with Knowledge Pool without paying that card's cost. So, actually,
the way to get rid of it was with the imprint trigger on the stack. You cast a shatter and then another instant.
yes, exactly. First, you get your Shatter exiled under the Knowledge Pool.
And
You
then
can target the Knowledge Pool with Shatter, but it'll
Yeah.
get exiled, and you won't get to cast anything else.
Yeah.
And then you cast another cheap spell or whatever to get your Shatter back to target the Knowledge Pool.
I was gonna say,
that's
yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, like so.
Yes.
I feel like it's even more your point that they played a combo that like then they played Knowledge Pool, and then like the people go, okay, everybody top 3. Oh, one of them is Disenchant. You're like, and it's just done then and there,
So-
right? I guess you can't with Draneth Magistrate
Yeah.
out, but like there is an opportunity even then. I guess. Well, no, because they started with Draneth Magistrate.
Yeah, they've figured out. The OP has figured out this part of the combo. You don't want to play the Knowledge Pool first.
Yes.
And you can't.
Yeah.
And you can't get your Draneth.
They tutored for Knowledge Pool first, I think, in
Yeah.
the story, and so we were talking about like this is how it works when Knowledge Pool's in play, and
Yeah.
this is how you can counterplay it. But to be shrewd, they're like, no, the Draneth Magistrate comes down first. It's resolved. Now at least they're not casting spells from anywhere except their hand, and then I play Knowledge Pool, and then if Knowledge Pool resolves, lights out.
Did Draneth Magistrate eat a ban, or is it just a game changer?
I don't know. Sorry.
Look it up.
I feel like that was one that like either was just like it was kind of just got shot because it's like annoying in Commander kind of a thing. But like I also don't feel like you should just ban out hate pieces all the time. Like most people, if you're running blue, put like Ghostly Pilferer, right? Because that's just like you get to draw a card whenever people cast their Commander and stuff, and this is kind of in that realm.
According to the Scryfall ban notes, it sucks. No,
It's gross, and people don't like when you play
this
it.
card
Yeah.
does just say you
It's-
can't cast your Commander.
It says it's
right?
stinky doo doo. I didn't know they had that. No, it is legal in Commander. It is a game changer.
It is a game.
It's a
changer.
game
Yeah,
changer.
it's banned in Brawl.
Yeah,
because
sure.
F Brawl.
yeah.
Yeah, Draneth Magistrate's a weird one, you know? Like, I get it being a game changer. I don't think we'd be losing out on that much if it was banned. We'd probably have more to gain than lose by banning Draneth Magistrate. It does...
I feel like they keep it because they want CDH. It's such a CDH card, right?
Sure.
You know, stacks pieces and stuff are something that can exist, and some
Yeah.
people that you know people like playing it just like people like playing Storm.
Yeah, and it's not broken or anything. It only has 3 toughness. Like, you know...
You know what's funny is of some of the stories we've talked about today, cards you've mentioned that are on the game changer list.
Yeah.
Enlightened Tutor, Farewell, Smothering Tithe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, there's a lot of those ones in there, but yeah, no, I think I would agree with you. I don't think this person is necessarily in the wrong purely because. Again, so much of this has just I think been solved by the change with the bracket system and stuff like that as
Right.
well, because it's better nailed down the games that you want to play a little bit and stuff. So
Yeah, the guidelines on the brackets leading you to, like, no infinite combos or, like, no game-winning combos or whatever. Like, I think that's all really helpful.
yeah, I mean, infinite combos are allowed. I think in as low as
2 or 3?
I think it's
you have
3.
1 and 2? Okay, all right.
Yeah, like you can run tutors in all brackets.
Yeah,
But
for
you
Right, they
can't. But
changed
like the tutors, most of the tutors are game changers. But like what is it?
A lot of the expensive ones are. Right?
The 1 mana ones are like like all of those kind of tutors. But like what's the what's the one where it's like the guy who's like and there's like a skeleton whispering into his ear?
Tutor?
Diabolic tutor,
Yeah.
the 4 mana one. Like that you can play that in bracket 1.
Yeah.
So, well, all in all, this was a good spread of stories.
Yeah. We had a couple of sinkholes.
We had a couple of sinkholes. We had a couple of not the sinkholes, and we had a couple of everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Except the wife.
Yeah. God, tell your wife what you're doing with your finances. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
If there's one thing that we could learn, tell your wife what to do with the finances and get yourself a friendship conversation e-break. That you can pull.
And find a room where you're allowed to yell to play Commander. Because honestly, if you're playing Commander, you want to be able to get excited and happy too, right? Like you want to be like, what? You want to be able to like have the pog out moments.
Yo.
Yo.
Shh, shh. Yeah. Nice play.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Am I the Sinkhole? Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, you two,
Had a
for
great
joining
time.
me. Yeah,
So much fun.
I really like doing this. So,
Hell yeah, nice play.
we'll have to.
Damn, that's wild.
That's great. That was great. We need to. I think we'll probably have to open up like maybe just like a thing that people can write into whenever. We can
a
just
great
build
idea.
up a nice repository and stuff. That down below, maybe we'll throw a link or
Just
something.
email
there.
James at loadingrayrun.com whenever
There you
feel
go.
like,
Yeah,
whenever you have a
James can
single
hang
idea.
on to all of them. Does that sound good, James?
Just subject it, Am I the Sinkhole?
Sure.
Like actually, though. It's
Probably.
fine.
We could do something like that. We want to thank you for watching and, of course, supporting us at our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. You're the reason we're able to do all this cool stuff. So thank you. You're great. We really, really appreciate you. We also, maybe we've talked about a lot of really cool cards on here, maybe some cool combos. Maybe you want to pick up a knowledge pool. I am thinking about it, to be honest. I've got knowledge pool on the brain.
That's Giraff Magistrate's like the least fun thing you can do with it.
Yeah, I want to do the funky things with it.
That mono red deck that I played on stream with the that weird old card that none of us had ever seen before, where you got to draft all the cards at the table.
Right.
Knowledge pool goes straight into that.
That's sick. Yeah, I love that.
I don't even remember what that card was called. No one had
Thieves'
seen
Auction?
it before. Thieves Auction.
Thieves Auction.
That
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, that was sick. You can pick it up over at cardkingdom.com/LRR if you use that URL. Lets them know that we sent you. You get a little button that says a big creature is its own reward.
Big.
But maybe who knows? Maybe we'll have a button that says "Damn, that's crazy" in the future. And of course, if you want to put that knowledge pool in a nice little sleevey that'll keep it safe forever, Dragon Shield. Use code LRRMTG5. That'll let them know that we sent you. You get a little bit of a discount, and then you get to put yourself in a nice little sleevey. It's great. But from all of us here, I have been Ben. Thank you very, very much for watching. And Graham.
The librarian's coming. We got to go.
And Nelson.
Damn, that's crazy.
And James Rantech and Heather Gets These Online. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.